Hi, Rob. Hi, Danny. Hi, Zaxon. Sorry. Hi, Bud. How are you doing? Hi, Janice. Hi, Ashley. Got so warm in the house later. It wasn't so warm earlier. Waiting for Kingfisher. Come on up if you can. I'm glad you guys are all here. I'm not seeing you. Let's try that again then. Hi, Liz. How are you? I think I said hi to Bud already, didn't I? Kingfisher, come on up. Well, we'll leave it up there and see how long it takes him to find his way. I hope he gets his way up here. So how's everybody doing today? I'm doing well. I have Venture Dulo shirt on. Woo! All the time, you guys, I wear shout out shirts. I wear them like all the time. Oh, Liz, I'm glad you're getting out for a walk. Hit that StreamYard button, Kingfisher, and come on up. Let's get this rolling. Hi, other side of the boat. How are you? Danny D's relaxing. Liz, I'm glad you're going out for a walk. That's good. Getting out is good and important. It's what we talk about, movement, all the time. We're always talking about movement. Oh, do you know what? This moves faster than the other one. Kingfisher, are you having problems getting up? Hi, Casey. I don't see you yet. Let's see. Oh, there's River. He's up. Hey, you. How are you?
What's going
on? Waiting for Kingfisher to come on up. I shared the link twice, but I'm not hearing back that he's.
Well, I was here. I was on my Safari.
Look at who we might
app,
have. Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't come up, so I had to get out of it and go to the Chrome, different device.
Yep. There we go. Look at that.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, we want to turn this around a bit. I want to go like this and like that. Yay! Grandma's getting better. So, Stuart, how are you?
I'm all right.
You good? You still awake?
Oh, yeah, wide awake.
Oh, good. If you guys don't know, it's 3 a.m. where he is or thereabouts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Dedication. So do you know Tommy?
We do not know each other.
That's no, Tommy. Tommy, Stuart, Tommy.
How's it going?
Hiya.
Okay. Good. Everybody, this is Kingfisher. Is his YouTube channel name. And we're interviewing him tonight.
Where's he at? What part?
Still excitedly nervous.
Okay. Yeah, Tommy asked you a question, so where you at?
I'm in Worcestershire, in sort of the middle of the UK. I'm about 15 miles south of Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a slight...
In the middle of the UK and Scotland, technically?
No.
I mean, top to bottom.
From the top to bottom, yeah, we're probably in the bottom third. Mm-hmm. But as far as like England's concerned, we're like middle England.
Yeah.
And that includes Wales.
Right. Well, no, because I lived in Dunoon. So when you said you were in the middle, I'm like, yeah, you're in the middle of England, maybe.
Yeah. So things are done a little bit different over there, aren't they, than here?
Very different.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How magnet fishing is different over there? Or do you know how it is over here?
I don't get to see much of a difference. I only know it as the magnet fishing in the UK.
Mhm.
Other than watching a few of the YouTubes from the States, um, I haven't really noticed much of a difference, to be fair.
Mhm.
Um, the only difference that I have found are the fines.
Yes.
Um, we do tend to get a lot of railroad related items,
Mhm.
canal items.
Mhm.
Um, Over in the States, all we see is sort of guns and metal and things that
And
we
junk.
would love to have.
Okay. So in Kingfisher, who's in that group? It's you.
It's myself, my daughter Shannon.
Mhm.
We've just had two new members, a guy called Andy and his son Jack, who is 10 years old. I've known them for quite a few years, but they've only just started magnet fishing.
Mhm.
I've done an event probably about 3 months ago where I opened it up to people that just wanted to just turn up and have a go. We had loads of spare magnets for them to
Mhm.
try.
Mhm.
And we had quite a few children.
Nice.
And Andy brought his son along, and
Mhm.
he was just so enthusiastic. He helps tidy the areas as well. We go around picking the litter up, and it's not just about what we find in the river and the water. It's making the area better than when we found it.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, they're learning a lot, and it's great to have children aboard. It's
Mhm.
not always just for adults. A lot of groups in the UK are just adult based,
Mhm.
so it is great to have um, a lot of children involved. A couple of the children that did turn up that day, their parents have brought them magnets and they've gone out.
Yeah.
They've asked me to go and like rope the magnets, show them how to do things, how to set the equipment up, which we was glad to do.
Mhm.
And it's sort of any problems they contact me and say, look, do you know what this is, or where do you think it could go? That's
Should we call the bomb squad?
well,
Tommy,
it's one thing I haven't had to do yet.
good, good. Tommy had a question.
So I have subbed you before. I mean, we haven't really had the chance to talk, so technically, no.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I said we don't know each other. I know we've subbed each other. 3 weeks ago, your video where you guys were all on the water and everybody had the flags.
Everybody
Everybody,
had what, sorry?
the British flags.
Um,
There was a
that
big
was
crowd of you guys, and everybody had the flags. They were flying them, and in your video.
I can't remember that one. What? Are you sure it was mine?
Well, it's on the Kingfisher channel, so
Was it a big collab of people? Was it a whole bunch of people, Tommy?
it says Global Magnet Fishing Day.
Oh,
Oh
the
Got
yeah,
global
yeah,
magnet fishing. That
got
that
me
was
over a
about
barrel.
a month ago.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a very interesting day. Um, it was another like a collaboration from another group.
okay.
Mhm.
The week before, I was talking to Jenny and Clayton on one of their lives.
Mhm. Mhm. The rusty
And
magnets.
yeah, I happened to mention that that there were a few things that I would like to get out of the water, but there were some things that I don't want,
Right.
and that was I don't want to get any explosives or guns, mainly because I don't really want to have to deal with like the police and the bomb squad and everything
Yeah.
else. Um, and I magnet fish quite a lot with a guy called Raymond who
Mhm.
appears on quite a lot of other British YouTube magnet fishing videos.
Mhm.
He took me along to this event, and one of the first things I got was a gun barrel,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh, okay, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Um, so we sort of went back to the organisers and I said, look, I've got this.
Mhm.
And the first thing they done was like showed everybody that was there. Thought, right, okay, this is sort of I wanted to keep it quiet.
Right, yeah.
And at the end of the day, I was awarded Find of the Day
Uh-huh.
for the gun barrel. And it was totally unexpected. I felt a little bit embarrassed by it,
Yeah.
um, being an item that I didn't really want, but I'm glad I've got it because getting Find of the Day,
Mhm.
sort of, you've got that little bit of prestige when you go to events.
Right. Mhm.
Um, I'll just quickly show you.
Yep.
This is
That's it.
the award that I got.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. And I was also given a dog tag,
Nice.
and
Nice. Very nice.
on there it's inscribed Patriot Magnets, Magnet Store, Brute Magnetics, and Magnetar.
Magnetar. Yeah.
And on the back, that was probably upside down.
Uh-huh. 24 hours.
24 Globit Magnet Fishing Day, 16th to the 17th of July 2022.
Nice.
So
Okay.
they take pride of place on my mantelpiece above the
Yes.
fire.
Nice. Okay,
What's
Danny
that, man?
D. Danny D had a question for you. She wanted to know what made you start your channel.
It was my daughter, really.
Mm-hmm.
We've been magnet fishing since September last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I still consider us to be new at this.
Mm-hmm.
I had a few health setbacks in between then.
Mm-hmm.
I suffered with a lot of back pain, and it turned out that I had rather large kidney stone.
Oh, ow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was too big to pass if it come loose.
Mm-hmm.
So in April, I had to go into hospital and have it removed,
Right.
and I had to have a stent fitted from the kidney
Mm-hmm.
all the way out through my body, and had to wait a few weeks for that to heal. And while I was doing that, because we'd been out magnet fishing, my daughter said, "Well, why don't we just try YouTube?"
Yeah.
I thought, okay, we'll give it a go. And then it was sort of, I was a bit nervous about filming for the first time. And I sort of said to myself, put on your big gill pants and just do
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Big girl, get big boy pants on.
Yeah. I was constantly thinking, how do I say it? Will it come across okay? How would I look on the camera? And I thought, no, just at the end of just say something. If it looks silly and it looks, if anything, it'll be a laugh.
Yes.
And the more we've done sort of YouTube videos, we've kind of got better, but I don't want to change too much because then
Mm-hmm.
that takes away from who we are and how we want to go about filming.
Right.
We've had quite a bit of advice from other YouTubers, and I thought, well, that's great for your channel,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily right for what we're doing.
Right. Right.
And
I get that.
to begin with, I mean, I don't really want to grow it that big.
Mm-hmm.
The way it is at the moment, I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with the views that we're getting,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of people on the Facebook page as well. And I've seen other YouTubers who I call the top table in the
Yes.
UK,
Yep.
and it's almost like they have to go out every week to create content for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of like the idea that if we have a week where we don't want to go out, we don't have to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where we are at the moment.
Right. Tommy?
So I referenced that video because I wanted to ask you a question about it.
Yeah.
The barrel that you had,
Yes.
it was like that.
Would you like to see it?
I would, but my question was, did you find out what caliber it was and which weapon it went to?
It's from a
Is that a 303 Enfield?
no. It's what's known as a poacher's companion. I think I was told it was a 410.
Okay. 410
And
shotgun.
yeah, the barrel itself, I'll start there. It's got like a little brass piece at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Right. At your peep sight. Yep.
Yeah. And then on this part,
You
it's
still have a bit
still
of
got
wood.
the etched wood,
Yep.
Nice.
which seems to be in really good condition.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got like the hinge part that it would have
There's a break
hinged
open,
from,
right?
and the clip where it would have gone in and clipped together.
Down, yeah. Very
Right.
cool.
The spring lock. Yep.
Yeah. But
Very nice. That's what I wanted to ask you was because I had done a little research prior to coming up here, so I watched your video,
Yeah.
and that's how I knew about it.
Yeah.
And that was my question for you. So, did you have to get any kind of permit for that?
No. At the moment, we're looking at having it set in resin.
Okay.
Somebody on the same day found the trigger part.
Mm-hmm.
It was missing the little stock at the end,
Mhm.
but
The butt stock, right?
yeah, the trigger mechanism, and it matched perfectly.
Nice.
We stood together and put them together. I'm not going to say who it is because it's on his channel,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
but they are far enough apart
Nice, Busby.
to stay as two separate items.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If they ever get put together, it could be deemed as a
Right.
load-bearing gun,
Right.
even though they are in poor condition. If the two parts are put together, it would be deemed as a gun. Then it would need to be put away.
Well, if you're going to
taken
put it,
away by the police.
if you're thinking about putting it in resin, are you going to go ahead and do the electrolysis and clean it proper first?
Yes, it will be cleaned up before going in.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
The other option that we have, somebody in the community has now started to do 3D printing.
Oh, make a replica of it.
Yeah, the idea is if we can get a replica of each other's part, I mean,
Mhm.
obviously we would have to go on separate days so that
Right.
the two items don't get together.
Right.
Yeah.
We may be able to have, like, I would have the missing part for the barrel, and the other person would have the barrel 3D print of the barrel to match what
Right.
he's got. Those are the only two options that we have available at the moment.
Well,
Other than
I like the resin idea. You know, you could put in a nice square block, the length, and
yeah,
make
yeah,
it a
I like that
mantelpiece.
because I've got an idea to have it put onto like a mount before it has the
Right.
resin put around
Yeah,
it.
put it in the mountain, and
And
yeah,
yeah, like a brass plate in there saying what it is and where it was from.
as they say over there, that would be brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice
Well,
trophy.
I have had people offer me money to buy it,
Mm-hmm.
but it is my first barrel, and I would like to keep it as long as
Absolutely.
possible.
No, keep it. You know,
Yeah.
too bad. Yeah, too bad. That's part of the collection that you hand down to your daughter because she got you in it.
Yeah.
But I
Other
love
than my large Lego collection.
right? Yeah. No, I that's why I had asked you about the video because I was going to reference the barrel in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
That's
kind of
really cool.
you just kind of beat me to the punch.
Oh, sorry.
No, but I still wondered if you knew what it was, and you did. And that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We actually had quite a few people messaging us over a couple of days afterwards. Some people were saying it was one particular item, other people were saying it was something else. But then when we started researching ourselves, when we had the spare time to do it, it came over as this poacher's companion barrel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everything was. It's basically what they used to use for shooting rabbits and stuff in fields. It wasn't
Mhm.
really a big weapon, But to find
What?
the actual two parts was fantastic. And to get it dated as well was an awesome thing.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I would love to see it, cleaned and
Yeah.
everything. Pictures of it before it's in resin, just through the electrolysis and everything cleaned and legible.
That's really
So
cool.
I've started to do some home electrolysis,
Mm-hmm.
and that seems to be going quite well. I wanted to try it first before actually putting this in, just to see whether it worked or not, because I have sort of, it's a homemade one. It's
Mm-hmm.
not something like a metal container that's plugs into the electric.
Yeah.
Right.
It sort of basically runs off a battery charger.
Yeah, no, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could trust myself with it. I'd have to have somebody else
Oh,
do.
it's easy. If you can take a cell phone charger and use those wires and plug it in, I've
Uh-huh.
done that a lot too. It's very low voltage, so it takes a longer time, but you're less
Mhm.
likely to do any damage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd probably, totally destroy the gun and burn down the house to boot. I have that kind of talent. I mean, nobody quite has the talent I have.
well, congrats on that. I love that.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
I,
And
I have
yeah.
I have put some other items aside to show you.
Oh, let's do show and tell.
When I very first collaboration that we went to, with me and my daughter was only really a couple of months into magnet fishing,
Uh-huh.
so we were still finding our feet. And because of it was a collaboration, we kind of felt a little bit out of place with everybody being there.
Mhm.
Everyone was friendly, welcoming, and everything else, but we just felt, so we just went down the towpath a little more and found a little quiet area, and it just so happened to be under an old train bridge.
Right.
So we thought, okay, we'll have a bit of a dip. But this item, it's a very heavy, and it's an axle plate cover from
Oh,
a train carriage.
oh wow.
And on one of my videos, I've done a cleanup on it where I've cleaned it up as best as I can and basically repainted it.
Mm-hmm.
The
Very nice.
lettering on them they're normally white,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
but I thought as it's mine, I painted it gold just to show it up a little bit more.
Very,
But,
very
yeah.
nice.
And obviously in the UK, it's very well known, we can't magnet fish without getting cutlery.
Yes, always. Here too.
Always knives, forks, spoons.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Cleaned up
my
well.
daughter's speciality.
Yeah, so you never have to buy it again, right?
Everywhere we go, she just has to get cutlery. It's
Yeah.
her thing.
Everywhere I go, I find underwear. I don't reuse them.
No, I don't think I would either.
No. Very cool.
And just so you know, a lot of the 45s also fit the 410. You can buy pistols today and stuff here that shoot the 410 and the 45.
Oh, right.
Because it's the same diameter.
Cool.
He knows so much more.
Just a fun fact. Just a fun fact. That's also a 45 caliber is a 410 shotgun.
So the next time I find something, I'll be waking you up.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. You would.
Hey
You would
guys, I
actually-
see everybody saying hi. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi, hi, hi.
Hi.
If you have not met Stuart yet from Kingfisher's Magneteers, that's who we're interviewing tonight, wherever you are. Depends on where you are, right? And so the first hour, we'll interview him. If you have questions, let me know, and I can put the questions up and we can ask them. And after the first hour, it will be our normal free-for-all. Okay, guys? It's really great to see you. Please share each other's channels with each other. And please check out Kingfisher. I'd appreciate that.
Yes, please.
But yeah, Grandma Kelly, know you find tons of socks. I find tons of socks too. I find lots of socks. So that missing socks in your laundry, I find it in the lake all the time.
Grandma Kelly has a magnetic personality too. She meets a lot of
Yes.
people.
Yeah, I meet a lot of people. Okay, I have a question. What is the best comment you ever received?
The best comment.
Mm-hmm.
I should imagine that's probably from Judy Menzel, because most of our videos she leaves a comment,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always positive, and they're the type of comments that think, yeah, I can do this, because there are times where you've gone out magnet fishing, you come back and you think, "Oh, why do I bother?"
Yes.
It's sort of, it just seems to be one of those days. But then to get the comments, that even if someone just says awesome,
Right.
it's the positivity to be able to go out again,
Mm-hmm.
and keep you going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Only once I've received one negative comment, and somebody said, "Oh, I find your videos very hard to watch. After so long, I have to switch it off because I'm getting a headache." And I'm thinking, well, don't watch them then.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. You know what I do with comments like that? I still give them I still hit like, and I still give it a heart, and I just keep going.
Yeah.
I don't even reply.
Yeah, that's basically, but I did reply, and I said, like, thank you for your honest feedback.
Yeah.
But maybe this channel may not be for you, or move on. But only the ones, and it's been great.
Yeah. I got one time that somebody said I was so boring. And so I commented back to him, thank you very much for your input. I very greatly appreciate your positive feedback. Love you, Grandma.
I find when I watch yours, I'm actually sat there talking to the screen as if I'm talking to you. And sometimes it's, come back, you've walked too far away.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to take my cart all the way. I've been on some very iffy places lately. The rocking and the rolling and no edge to stop my cart. Could you imagine my cart going over the side? It has everything in it.
The one recently, when you was walking on the pontoon, like the walkway.
Yeah, the floating.
And it just seemed to be going from side to side. And I'm sat there in the chair going like this. Is like,
yeah.
Okay.
Did you find yourself squatting down and bending your knees even though you're sitting on the chair?
Yeah.
See? Yep.
Well, while I was sitting down, I was actually lifting my knees up higher.
Higher, lifting your legs up to make sure there was a bend in your knees when I was telling all the kids to do that. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So Ashley would like to know what the weather's like there
We've had some horrendous weather. Because of the amount of hot weather that we've had lately, we've had it's actually absolutely pouring with rain at the moment, which we needed. But earlier on tonight, we had a horrific thunderstorm. And at one point, I didn't know whether I'd be able to come on because the lights were flickering, and we didn't know if the electric was going to go out or what was going to happen. But that seemed to have settled down probably at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So I was like, please don't just stay on.
So you didn't go magnet fishing then?
Not today.
Not very hardcore there.
No, this is the hardcore. It's now 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I am magnet fishing at 11 o'clock.
Oh, we won't keep you but an hour. Tommy,
no,
you have a question
that's
for
fine. I only need a couple of hours sleep.
Okay. Just don't
Beauty sleep doesn't work on me anymore.
You have a question, Tommy?
No, I'm following chat and everything else.
Oh, I'm trying to share with you because every so often I don't share with you. I'm not always a great host. Sometimes a co-host. Sometimes I don't let Tommy talk at all, and I control people, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. What event inspired you to do this?
It was my daughter that inspired me to do this, because she had been watching a lot of magnet fishing on YouTube. at the time I was watching a lot of things on Netflix and
Mm-hmm.
just get bit tedious. She said, well, why don't you watch some YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, what's YouTube? I hadn't heard of it.
Well,
So I kind of grabbed my iPad, went onto YouTube, um, started watching it, and it was like, yeah, I think I could have a go at this.
mm-hmm.
And then within a couple of weeks, we'd ordered a couple of cheap magnets off eBay.
Yeah.
The first time we went out, where I live, we have a little stream at the back.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, we'll just have a quick dip there because it's close to home and we don't know if we're going to like it and give
Yeah.
it a go. And we had to phone my wife to open up the back gates into the back garden because we'd got 3 shopping trolleys, 2 bike frames, a
Yeah.
bucket full of scrap, and like we're wheeling these shopping trolleys into the back garden, and my wife's going,
What you
"That was in
doing
the stream," and it's like, "Yeah, but we've got to go back out. There's more down there." And it's like, okay. And then we quickly learned that the magnets that we'd got weren't really sufficient for the job. So we started looking into like the bigger magnets.
You got all
And
that and it wasn't sufficient.
no,
Go
no.
ahead. Sorry.
Some of it we had to use a grappling hook. And to be honest, the first magnet we bought, it come with a grappling hook. We thought, yeah, that'll be fine. The magnet hook turned up and it was about that long.
Wow.
Oh, that's really not big enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was okay to begin with, but yeah, it sort of snowballed from there. Even though it's coming up to 12 months,
Yeah.
that we've now got a couple of the biggest magnets out there on the UK market,
Nice.
and it's like, yeah, we're getting loads now.
Yeah, loads. It does matter the magnet you use. Tommy?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're talking about all that that you have in what you call your garden. We call it the
yeah.
backyard. Do you guys have the scrap places where you can sell your scrap and keep the money like we have here, or
Yes.
how do you guys do that?
The local, well, they call it a recycling centre for
Mhm.
scrap metal. I didn't realise that we had one, and it was only 3 miles down the road.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So you can push your shopping cart there.
No. To begin with, we wasn't sure what to do, so there was a local scrap man that normally comes round, and he plays. It's like an ice cream van. He plays a tune when he's coming round, so we know it's him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then we sort of left a note out on the fence saying like scrap free to collector.
Uh-huh.
And then we was told like you can go to these places and hand over the scrap yourself. So I looked into it, went down to the local yard, registered my vehicle with the registration plate, and then we went down, took the scrap onto the scales, weighed the car, unloaded. I think because I was quite interested in your recent trip. I think you had £600.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, over here we work in kilos.
Mm-hmm.
£600, I think, was about 200 and something kilos.
Uh-huh.
Well, I took 450 kilos.
Wow.
And we managed to get just under £60
Nice.
in our
Nice.
money, which I'm not sure what that would convert into US dollars.
But
60
that's
pounds.
still-
It's like around $1.25 up and down to $1.50 a pound.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's just.
It-
it's, yeah. Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say it's funny because I didn't want to tell her for what she made with 600 pounds of just like scrap steel was fantastic. I mean, it's free money.
Right.
Yeah.
I was cutting copper lines and stuff and an AC unit and or not the AC unit, the heater unit and stuff that I took out of my van that I'm redoing. And I only had like 75 pounds, but a lot of it was copper, and I ended up leaving there with $16.
Yeah. I haven't pulled any of my copper yet. I have all that still in the back.
that's where your money's going to be.
Yeah,
Well,
I just
better money, better
yeah, I
money.
don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to pull the copper out of the wires. Now I could YouTube it.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So Danny D did ask, what's the coolest thing you have caught? I'm assuming it's the gun. Or is that for you?
Sorry, I was just looking at a message that someone sent me that's I need to sort of sort out soon. Sorry, what was the question? I was just distracted
Well,
for a
Danny
second.
D asked, what's the coolest thing you have caught? I'm assuming it's the gun, but it might be something else to you.
No, the coolest thing.
Nice. I love this because my gun is not my coolest thing. Go ahead.
No.
I love this.
The coolest thing for a long time, everyone has been talking about a windlass, which is a lock key for the locks up and down. And like I've been stood there for like 12 months watching everybody else get them, and I never got one.
Right.
2 weeks ago, I got my first one.
Nice.
Last week, I went out with my daughter and another guy, and I got 5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any to show?
I do.
Yes.
It just so happens.
Yes.
It just so
Nice.
happens that's the handle part.
Now, explain to people what this is because they might not know.
Right. This is what we call a lock key, and it's more commonly known as a windlass. Basically, because of the shape of it, it's got the curved handle. So it would go onto a lock, depending on what size bolt comes out of the lock. You slot it on, and as you turn the handle, I'm just trying to get a better picture, it'll turn round like that. So obviously you're holding the handle, and it's
a winding crank.
Yeah. It's like a crank handle, or if you like, an old starting handle that you would have had on an old car. It's basically the same, that it would go on and you would crank it round. But then you have to turn it sort of round the other way to wind it back again.
And so why do you need those there? Because there are people who are not going to know that here. Why do you need a key for the locks? When you say locks, what are you talking about? Padlock, door lock?
It's a canal. On the canals in the UK, the water levels flow at different heights. So if you've got a boat sort of, I'll try to picture, if you've got a boat at sort of this level and it needs to get down to a water level there, it would go into a lock and the boat would sink in the lock so that it could then continue its path. So what you need to do is you need to let water in from one end to lift the boat up, and then you can float out. Or if the boat's going the other way, you need to let water out of the lock for it to go down. And that's what you've got. You've got doors each end. And it's basically that once you've shut the lock doors both ends, it's to wind the lock doors that are lower down to let the water in and out.
It's a miniature version of the Panama Canal.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Ballard locks that we have here. We have locks that go into Lake Washington too. So we do have those there, but other places don't have those. So a lot of the UK has locks through it, right? And every boat is supposed to have one?
Yes.
Are they expensive for the boaters?
They work out around about £30 each, I believe, to buy them. But what I intend to do is to clean them up, because obviously they've been in the silt in the bottom of the canals. I'm going to clean them up, take them with me, and if anybody wants one, they can just take it back.
Nice.
I don't like the idea of making money off something that I've had for nothing. If it still can be repurposed, then why not just let somebody have it? You'll make their day. Although we're
you
not
go do that at the docks.
Sorry?
you could take a few to the docks and make someone in a boat very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what once I've cleaned them up, I will be taking them
Yeah.
out with me, and even I'll just put them at the side with a note saying free to anybody that wants one.
Right. Right. Cool. Very
Yeah,
nice. Very nice.
I'd say we're not going to make a lot of money out of the scrap that we get,
Mm-hmm.
but it's nice that the money that we do get back can be repurposed for like just scrap. If
Yeah.
it's something that can be given away again and reused, then why
Mm-hmm.
not let them have it? It's I've got it for nothing. I
Right.
don't like the idea of making money off something that I have been given or gifted.
Yes.
A
I love
lot
that.
of
I really love that attitude. That's a great attitude. That's a
yeah,
really good attitude, Stuart.
we, we,
I
we
do that a lot too. It's just, and
yeah,
I basically put garbage in the right place. And if somebody can repurpose it or reuse it, why
yeah.
not?
Well, one of the first things that my daughter got out of a canal
Mm-hmm.
was a giant solar panel,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
and that had come off the top of a canal boat.
Yeah.
Basically, we looked at it and it wasn't going to work again. I think the amount of time that it had spent in the water, the electrics wasn't going to work again. So we are going to make a frame for it and use it as a table in the garden.
Nice.
And when we've got items that we've cleaned up and that we're going to keep,
Uh-huh.
they're going to be displayed on the table
Mm-hmm.
on solar panel because
Mm-hmm.
it is quite. You could easily sit 6 people around this solar panel.
That is really cool.
So, and
And then it's
That's
behind you,
awesome.
you make it a table. Great
well,
idea.
it's not when we have people around for barbecues, it creates a talking point.
Right.
That you know, I can basically tell them when and where I got the item,
Mm-hmm.
and they can sort of see for themselves that it's not always about throwing things away either.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that there are things. I have a big area in the back garden,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fastly filling up with items that I want to clean up and reuse. There aren't enough hours in the day at the moment.
Right. Right.
Um,
I get
but
that.
I do have 2 weeks coming up off work again
Uh-huh.
that I'm going to get out there and start getting some cleanups done.
Uh-huh.
Because I like doing the cleanup videos as well.
Yeah, I find those very, very interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I've only done a couple,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's something that I want to do.
When people can take scrap and make something usable and functional out of it, even
Yeah,
artwork or whatever, I find that totally fascinating.
yeah. There are people that like the spoon and the fork.
Mm-hmm.
People will sort of bend them and use them as coat hooks
Yeah,
and just mount them on a board, and it serves another purpose.
right, right. Bisbee says repurposing is so cool. I am Zaxon had a question for you. He said, "Do the police bother you when you're fishing over there?"
No. The only time they bother us is when we have to phone them to come and see something. Yeah. Not so long ago, we were asked to go and retrieve a moped from a river.
Mm-hmm.
And my first experience was, well, yeah, we've got to go over there, we'll get it out, but then we've got to phone the police.
Right.
So we done all of this, and within an hour of being there, we couldn't find any numbers on the moped to give to the police. So
Mm-hmm.
we gave them a call, and they basically wanted me to stick it in the back of my car and take it to them. I think it's not, and it's not exactly something that I could get in my car.
Right. Right.
All we could do was just tell them where it was and let them send somebody out. But then I found out the scrap man that we used on that day went back 3 days later and it was still there.
Yes.
So he kind of got in touch with the police and said, "Look, I'm moving it to my yard.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know, I'll keep it until you're ready to come and see it."
Yeah.
So that was great that it wasn't left on the side.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, we did struggle to get it up. I think it was 20 steps that
Wow.
went round a corner,
Mm-hmm.
and a guy that was in his boat at the side of the river actually gave us help to carry it up the steps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I like it
um,
when community helps.
yeah. He was great.
Mhm.
He actually liked and subscribed, and while we was magnet fishing, he was sat there watching my videos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was great. But I
I've
like
heard
people like that.
that too.
It's been awesome that the response that we get from the public.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem that we do have is from the Canal and River Trust.
Yeah.
They don't like us magnet fishing for
Mm-hmm.
some reason. I don't know why. Um, other magnet fishers know why, but I don't. I'm a bit naive that way. That if it's not going to bother me, I'm still going to throw my magnet.
Right. Right.
Um, but we haven't had any problem out of the people who work for the Canal and River Trust.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's not a problem. But yeah, the only time the police come out is when we need to phone them.
Oh, so Ashley had another question for you. She
Yeah,
wants to know what you do for fun instead of just magnet fishing. What other things you do for fun?
go to work. No, I used to play darts for over 30 years,
Uh-huh.
and I played well myself, my wife, my dad, and my daughter all played at county level.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually represented Worcestershire to play darts,
Cool. Cool.
Nice.
and we I kind of got to the stage where I was looking around at players, and I could see that they were probably 20 years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
still playing,
Mm-hmm.
struggling to play,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking that's going to be me in 20 years' time. And at the time, I was playing darts 4 nights a week. And I thought to myself, there's got to be more than life than just playing darts.
Yeah.
It's been my sport for over 30 years. I didn't know anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So when magnet fishing came along, it's given me another purpose and meeting a lot more people. I still go out sometimes and watch the teams play.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody asks me every week if I to go back and play, but I'm
Yeah.
saying no. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm
Right.
enjoying my new hobby. I'm enjoying doing the YouTube side
Mm-hmm.
as well as just like cleaning up and looking at the items that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy with where I'm at in life.
Well, I
Very
know in the
nice.
middle '80s when I lived over there, darts were huge. Everybody had a pack of darts in their pocket. You'd go in
Yeah,
and get a pint of heavy and head for the dartboard of the pool room.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. I remember going out when I first started playing um, at the local pub. You could go out on a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday and get a game of darts. And
Easily.
now the only time people really go out to play is on a league night. There's nowhere that you can just take your set of darts and go and sit in a pub to play anymore.
Really.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a shame.
Everybody had them back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
I have
and
a
if you
question.
hadn't got them, there was normally 3 or 4 sets behind the bar.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So I watch a lot of the guys. They'll walk the beaches on the Thames, and they'll look for the clay pipes, and they'll metal detect, and they'll mudlark and all that.
yeah,
Have
yeah.
you have you ever just walked the beaches along the Thames and drug your magnet. I mean, there's got to be a ton of everything there.
The Thames for me is probably a 2-hour car journey.
Okay.
So at the moment, I do travel to fish with Sonic, and Raymond that we fish with, he lives probably a 15-minute car ride away. So we're always out with Race at some time. But other than that, I just tend to stay local. We found a place. I think 5 of my last videos were all from the same place, because every week we were going and we were getting that much stuff that we just felt obliged to keep going back until it was cleaned.
Right.
But now that we've done that section, we found out that there's probably another 1.5 mile section further down that needs cleaning as well. So it's a case of having a couple of weeks off, refreshing the batteries, have a look at somewhere different, and then make plans to go back and hit it hard with a few more people.
Do you ever get discouraged, like it's going to be a job that never finishes?
Yeah, the last 5 that we've done. We were basically covering sections, and we got to the end of the section, and we're thinking, have we got to come back next week?
Yeah.
And it was like, but if we don't come back, it's still going to be there. Nobody else is coming down.
Back, right.
In the end, I done one of the videos. I think there was about 8 or 9 of us, and I arranged the extra people just to hit it hard to get it done.
Right.
Because we just needed to move on. And then one of the guys sort of took himself off for an hour, and he come back and said, yeah, there's loads more down. No, no. Somewhere else. Let's just go somewhere different.
Yeah.
So if you could go anywhere in the world, you could pick where you wanted to go. It's kind of 2-part. Where would it be? And would it be for magnet fishing? Where's your I would love to see, where is your I would love to go? And what would you do there? It doesn't have to be magnet fishing.
I would love to come over to the States, not just for magnet fishing, but it would be part of the trip. I would need to be a millionaire to do this. I'd love to come over, get the RV, and just do one big road trip, because there are so many different channels that I watch that it's not just magnet fishing. I watch a lot of cars, because I love watching American cars.
So much to do here. There is. Yeah.
And it would be, traveling through Texas. I'd like to do the Route 66. I'd love to pinpoint where everybody is, basically, and travel around to meet them.
That's awesome.
You can always stay in my house if you ever get up to Linwood, Washington.
Thanks.
I'd even loan you a car while you're here.
I don't think I would really. I might have to hire a driver.
Yeah, well, yeah. My sister had a little problem when she came back.
No, you can do it. After a day, you get used to it.
I probably could, but I think after the first day, I'd have to sit there and just sort of pick up pointers, and then have a go on the second day.
My sister, when she first came back from Japan, she was stationed over in Okinawa, and it's like, Kim, other lane. No, Kim, other lane, because she kept going into the wrong lane.
Well, to be fair, I have that problem here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was always fun coming out of the pub from being from overseas and like, oh, crap.
Yeah, wrong one again.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun. Does anybody else have any questions? We're down to 12 minutes, so ask them questions or I can ask some more.
What's your favorite food?
There you go. Favorite food.
Spaghetti bolognese. My mum used to make it by the bucket load when we were kids.
You would think you'd never want to see it again.
Oh no, I would. I was the type of kid that I'd go back for seconds and thirds, and then still get some bread to wipe it inside the pans before
Oh
they went to
yeah.
wash.
Yeah.
That's partly why I am packing a little bit of weight, because I just couldn't stop when I was a kid. We used to gauge our Friday and Saturdays on the fact that on a Friday night we'd have spaghetti bolognese, on a Saturday we'd have a cottage pie, which was more mince and meat and gravy.
I'll say that's immense. Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
And then,
delicious.
And then we always had the roast dinner on a Sunday. So yeah, it was absolutely awesome.
Rob says, "Oh, your driving couldn't be much worse than what we already see, Stuart."
I think I might have to do a driving video and show you.
And then Ashley asked, "What's your favorite holiday?"
My favorite holiday, we've got a destination in the UK in Devon, and it's Brixham Harbour.
Okay, all right. Let me rephrase something. For you, a holiday is a vacation. So what she's asking is Christmas, New Year's, Halloween.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry. American holiday.
Definitely Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I turn into a big kid, and my wife and children know that I must have toys. If I don't get toys at Christmas, I will have one big paddy strop.
Let me guess, Legos.
Yes. Yes. I am part way through building an 80s Legoland.
So you do have another hobby.
Well, I'm at the stage now where I'm toying with selling the Lego collection to feed my magnet habit.
Ooh.
Yes, that is
That's
a very
big commitment.
It's a big step for me, because I have that much Lego. I promised it to my daughter as her inheritance.
Yes.
The plan was that when I finally get to retire, then all of the Lego will come out and be built. And I will have one room where everything will be laid out. I have gone a bit crazy that I've got about 3 airports.
Yeah.
I've got the hospital, fire station, police station. I've got buildings that I've created myself.
Yeah.
Now, where could you possibly have? You don't have all these still erected.
Some of them.
You must have a big house.
No. It's one of those houses where my daughter and wife will probably walk around and all I can hear is ouch, because they're treading on Lego bricks. It's kind of everywhere. I'm sat here now and I've got 2 units and they're both full of Lego that are built. I've got a play area and an airport building over there. Over there I've got a tree house that's built. Yeah, it's just all over the place.
So when you come to the United States one day, you have to go to Legoland. Do you have Legoland there?
Yeah, we've got Legoland Windsor.
Oh, cool. So you know what it is. You have one. Cool.
Yeah. It's one place that I will refrain from going. Because my wife knows that while they are going round the theme park bit, I will spend from when I get there till we're ready to leave in the shop.
In the shop. Yeah. Oh man, the kids love that. That was a good 6 hours of air conditioning, and I just sat there and relaxed, and the kids were just in the shop, and eventually I made them go walk around. But yeah, that was when they were littler. That was super, super cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to leave the shop.
Yeah.
There'd
Oh,
be that many questions that I'd need answering that I would need my own personal assistant to just, answer everything.
oh, fun. Does your Legoland there also have what is that called? The smell-o-vision and the feel? The theater that has you actually feel the rain when it rains in there, and when the lemons fall out of the truck, you can
That
smell the
I
lemons.
don't know.
Ah,
I don't
I'd
know
love to
because
do
I've
that
not
at
been.
Legoland. Yeah. Big things.
But I probably wouldn't get to see that anyway because I'll be in
Because you
the shop.
wouldn't leave the shop. I know, I
Yeah.
get that. Yeah, I actually had to make the kids go and walk around and look at the stuff. They didn't want to leave the shop. They were having way too much fun. Way too much fun. What kind of car do you drive?
I have a car that is the Vauxhall Grandland X. I don't know what the model would be in the States.
Mm-hmm.
The car that I had before, I have seen in America, and it was the Vauxhall Mocha,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what those are.
I know they have different names for them over there.
Bisbee ass. So. Does that help you, Bisbee, at all?
Okay, so it looks like a Kia Sorento or the Ford Escape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's quite of a big bulky. It would pass as a 4x4, but it's not.
Yeah.
But
That's big over there because their cars are very small by comparison.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For such a big
to us,
car,
that's a small SUV.
Right.
yeah, for such a big car, it's only a 1.2 liter engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But because it's turbo,
Oh yeah.
it does the job.
Yeah, no, those are small cars to us.
Yeah.
That's why I want to come to America.
I have a Honda Fit. That's a really small car.
I thought you had a Subaru.
I do have a Subaru. I put the twins in the Fit. I have a brand new Honda Fit for the twins. I have 16-year-old twins at home. And so they get the nice car, and I get the one I can throw metal in and not cry. Right? I can throw metal. It's just different here. We have so much space, especially out in Washington, that it's very common that the kids have a car too, because then you don't want to have to drive them everywhere. Our mass transit's not very great where I'm at.
When you punish the kids and take the keys away, it ultimately ends up a punishment to you because now you have to. Yeah. If you're going to continue to ground them, then you're the one stuck doing everything.
Right. So they got this Honda Fit, and if I'm going to go somewhere far and long, I drive the new car, which is the Honda Fit that gets amazing gas mileage and probably won't die. But I have a Subaru that I mostly drive all the time here, especially for magnet fishing. Because too often I go swimming and then I sit in the front seat totally wet. Definitely not doing that in the Fit. Let the car dry out.
We have found that when we go magnet fishing and we've loaded the car up and come home, it's absolutely fine. The next day we'll get in the car and it absolutely stinks.
Yeah.
It's just having that stagnant air in the car overnight. It's like, okay, get all the windows open, just, we'll try and air it out a bit. But it doesn't matter how many times we put like fresh spray in or an air freshener. It just does not cover it.
Where I'm at, I know there were places that I've been in that the rivers smelled. But where I'm at, our rivers don't smell. I mean, it doesn't stink at all. Okay, but it is really wet. That's why we can swim in all the waters. I can swim just fine in the water and not worry about where I'm at. Yeah. But where other people are at, they won't even get in the water. And of course, then they have things in the water that might bite them. I don't have anything in the water where I'm at that's going to hurt me.
Well, we do have some people that sort of go into the water and have a look, see what's under the water before they magnet fish so that they know where to go and things. But I have recently watched somebody magnet fish and they've got a camera on the end of the rope.
Yes, I love that. I want to do that
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, we've been looking into it. We
Yeah.
said it would be a good niche for us because nobody else in the UK is doing that.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
But
cool.
I also love not just with the camera,
Uh-huh.
it's actually seeing what the magnet's doing under the water.
Right. Oh,
And
that
that
would
was
be cool too.
absolutely fantastic to see a magnet and you're pulling it in a straight line and all of a sudden it just like kinks over because it's latched onto something.
Right.
You,
Right.
you don't get to see that any other time. And
No.
So
that's brilliant.
I have to ask. So then, is there something attached to string with a very small balloon or something just to keep it upright? That's buoyant.
What
camera?
the camera?
Yeah.
No, the camera is where you've got your magnet attached to the end of the rope.
Right.
The camera is, I would say, wouldn't even be half a meter. It'll probably be quarter of a meter away from where you've tied your magnet.
Right.
And I think it's got a built-in record, like a chip or something,
Yeah.
like an SD card or memory card or something.
Right, like a GoPro or something. But I'm curious just to how it stays upright, or just does it just
top and the
hang
bottom.
wherever?
It just stays. I mean, as you pull the rope tight
Mm-hmm.
to drag it along the riverbed, then it would be at the angle straight down, pointing at the magnet. It's literally tied, or
Top and bottom.
I'm not sure if it's tied or whether it's cable tied or something onto the
Yeah.
rope.
But they have a couple people who did that. Have you seen it was just very recently, The Fisher? Do you ever watch The Fisher?
We did to begin with. He was one of the ones that we watched at the very beginning. But then obviously the thing that I can't get my head over, the more people you watch, you start knowing who your favourites are.
Right. You can't watch everybody.
No.
Yeah.
And this is the problem that I had a couple of months ago where I looked at my YouTube and it was, well, I haven't got time to watch that one. I haven't got time to watch that one. I haven't got time to watch that. And then you got to a stage where I was having to watch one particular person, but I was having to binge watch about 5 or 6 videos.
Right.
To get through them.
Why I brought him up, and I want to say it was probably in the last 2 weeks, but I could be wrong. Go and find one of his videos that he uses. He was demonstrating this underwater drone.
Oh yeah,
Raymond. So cool.
Yeah, Raymond that I magnet fish with actually told me about that.
Yeah, it's like expensive. I want to say it's like $4,000 or something, but that's not the point. Not in my wheelhouse, right? Especially not to go put on in the water and lose, right? But it was so cool. I just said, if I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. He got some great shots, and he's just trying to figure out how to drive it and stuff.
It just gives you a different perspective,
right,
of what's actually happening under there.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was just so cool to watch, and it wouldn't matter whose channel was going under the water, and he wasn't actually magnet fishing while he was doing it. He was just riding the drone, and all I could picture is myself sitting on the edge of a dock checking out everywhere where I might get caught. And it's on a big, huge string, so you just pull it back. Hopefully don't get it caught, but yeah, cool. Nice. I think the camera idea would be great. I love it. Tommy?
No. He says, you good, Tommy? I was give him a thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Barnacles, yeah.
Nice. Okay, we are at 8:03, so I am going to open this up to anybody who wants to come. Stuart, thank you so much for coming. And thank you for being interviewed. I really appreciate that. I hope to interview you again in a year or so and see how things have moved and changed for you. Yeah, that would be lovely. And hopefully, stuff like that.
Hopefully by then I've won the lottery and I'm on my way over to America.
Perfect. Remember, we can find you a bed somewhere in my zoo.
I'll be there.
You're going. I'm staying in the Hilton, honey. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll
I-
even sleep in the back of the Subaru.
There you go. Yes.
I'd say you're welcome to stay with the rest of the chat, but I know you said you had something to sort out. So that text you got?
Yeah. Do you need to go? You can stay or go. It's up to you.
That's what I'm asking you.
Oh no, I can stay for a bit. That's
Okay.
something that I can stick on the back burner for a while.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. Perfect.
That
Okay,
was what
guys.
I was asking. Is this something you
Yeah.
had to go do?
No, it's fine.
Cool.
It's one of those annoying ones that you just okay.
Yeah, but you want to put it off as long as you can.
Yeah.
That'd be my brother or my sister texting me.
Okay, you guys. Oop, I need to push enter, don't I? There's the link if anybody wants to come up and chat. Thank you, New Horizon. I appreciate you guys being here. And if you guys could please share this out, share out his link. Like always, we appreciate anybody who's willing to come up and get interviewed by us because we are professionals, sort of, right? So there you go. Open mic, talk about anything. What else would you like to talk about now?
Do you have any questions for her or me?
No. I'm not very good at asking questions because I kind of get embarrassed of what do you ask somebody? I love just go with the flow. I like watching people's YouTubes and sort of chatting on the lives and things, and it's.
So you mentioned your daughter. How many kids do you have?
I've got two. I've got a son. He's 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kind of bit that it might make me cry. I'll put it that way. I'm so proud of him. He's disabled.
Mm-hmm.
He's the size of a 13 to 14-year-old.
Hello.
Hi.
Look who's there around there.
How you doing?
All right, man.
Okay, continue with. Sorry, Stuart. Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah,
Just a minute, Jamie.
He's disabled. Because we had Shannon first, and everything was fine. We was kind of expecting another normal child. And within 24 hours, they found that he'd got cataracts and glaucoma. So it's sort of, we had that many doctors flying around. Nobody was talking to us.
Yeah.
And it got to the stage where, like, will somebody just please tell us what's going on? We'd been moved away from the ward into a private room. We got doctors flying in and out. We found out he'd got these cataracts and glaucoma. And then they kind of said that he's got a rare genetic disorder.
Yeah.
Just like, well, what does that entail? And he's got, it's called Lowe syndrome. It's basically a 1 in a million chance of anybody having this. The consultant actually said that in his career, they would normally see 2 cases of this defective gene. And in that week, he'd actually had 2 cases.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the brain side of it affects the eyes, the brain, and the kidneys. The brain side is failure to develop. For somebody, even though he's 21 and the size of a 14-year-old, his brain is actually that of an 8-year-old.
Right.
So it's sort of every year he gets older, the rest is playing catch up at different stages. The eye part, with having the cataracts and glaucoma, he had the cataracts removed when he was 2 weeks old. And he basically was in and out of hospital 3 times a week to keep an eye on the pressure of the eyes. to see whether the cataracts were going to grow back. They didn't grow back, but he had like a grey patch grow over his eye.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the amount of laser treatment that he's had, it just wasn't effective anymore.
Right,
So
right.
he's now lost the sight in his left eye,
Mm-hmm.
and he has very limited vision in his right eye.
No
And
cornea
it's the
transplants.
potential- No, there's nothing they can do. It's basically just make sure the pressure in the eye is stable,
Mm-hmm.
and just let nature take its course, really.
My
Eventually,
mum's completely
he
blind.
will end up blind in both
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah,
But
our
then,
chat is sending out prayers for him.
yeah, for some reason, I haven't got the chat come up at the side. I can't see
No.
what people are.
Well, I just put it on my phone.
Yeah, my mum's completely blind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My daughter's blind.
My
Yeah.
oldest brother's blind as well. He walks with a stick from like 5 miles away to my mum's house.
Yeah.
Can't see nothing.
Mm-hmm. So Jamie, shout out your channel.
Blistering barnacles magnets.
You guys got that?
Like and
And then-
subscribe, people.
Like and subscribe. And Rob, shout out yours.
Just go by my name,
Okay, his is by
Rob.
and we
Rob
have
Wiedemann. Rob L. Wiedemann.
Okay, you guys check these out. These guys out, okay?
So now you said you were so proud of him. What is it that set you apart there?
With everything that he's been through throughout his life so far, every morning he wakes up with a smile on his face.
Still positive. Still
Yeah.
happy.
Hear that, people?
Yeah, you
To
guys got that?
to him, we are the disabled ones
Mm-hmm.
because we're the ones that aren't normal to him.
Right.
So, he wakes up thinking like he's $1 million because, to him, there's nothing wrong. It's
Yeah,
just
don't work
the way
like
he
that.
is.
Yeah.
And it's great. And,
hmm
we do sit here sometimes and we think, if that was us, would we still really be carrying on?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Having so
Right.
much. I mean, he's got the problem with his kidneys that he's on
Right.
3 or 4 different medications for. He's
Mm-hmm.
got the problem with his eyes. He's got the like with his height and everything else being the wrong height for his age, and his failure to develop at the same rate.
Right.
He's also now got spinal scoliosis,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because his spine has continued to grow, but it's now grown to sort of an adult size for such a small body that he's got a 50-degree curve in his spine,
Right.
but it's like a haunch. You can actually see it through his t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like a hunchback.
Yeah.
That they've taken x-rays from the side and it's perfectly in line, but when they take an x-ray from the back, you can see where it's curved round.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, everything that he goes through, he's happy. He's just, no, I mean, he does have his off days, but what
Yeah.
of the 21-year-old doesn't?
Right.
But it is sometimes a fine line that, do we sort of bring him up as his mental age?
Mm-hmm.
Do we bring him up as his birth age?
Mm-hmm.
Or just bring him up as him.
But and that's what we've done.
Yeah.
I mean, over the years, we've had people.
The rest doesn't
sort
matter.
of say, no,
hmm
The rest
we-
doesn't
we've
matter.
had people ask us, "How do you cope?" Well, we don't. We just get on with it because he
How
needs.
do we
Yeah.
cope?
One day at a
We don't
time,
cope.
day by
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
And we had a magic moment today because he's been asking a lot about coming out magnet fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was
bear
a
in
question, but I
mind-
was afraid to ask that.
it creates a lot of problems because of for him to walk, he has like a walking frame,
Yeah.
and it's one that he can drag behind him so that he's got the lead role in moving.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, he can't go magnet fishing in that because he wouldn't be able to stand up for so long.
Right.
We have a wheelchair for him to sit in,
Mm-hmm.
but every now and again, he has a tendency to flick the brakes off.
Yeah.
So that creates a
No,
problem
no,
that if he goes magnet fishing and sits in the wheelchair,
Mm-hmm.
that we'd really need to have our wits about us and make sure that he can just throw it in and pull it out.
You know the little O-rings that you can turn the nut on. Couldn't you just tie and lock the wheel to the back in the back?
No, the way the setup of the wheel is, the brakes aren't actually on the wheel on the back. The brakes are on the front wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Because they swivel from side to side as well. When you put the brakes on, they lock them in a straight line.
Right.
So it's not like another wheelchair that if you like a wheelchair that we would be given, we could put the brakes onto the big wheel at the back
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
No,
front
I was
wheel.
I was just talking about your own device putting something through there so they couldn't turn.
Yeah, it's something that we've really got to look into because he's getting so enthusiastic. The new guy, Andy, and his son Jack,
Mm-hmm.
recently had T-shirts and baseball caps made with Kingfisher Magneteers on.
Right.
And today we've had a parcel come through,
Cool.
and it's a T-shirt for
Cool.
Connor. It's got his name on with
Yeah.
Kingfisher Magneteers on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's
badass.
just so the look on his face, it was like he'd just like another Christmas present had turned up.
Yeah, I'd be crying. I would.
It was absolutely,
It'll put a tear in
made
my
up
eyes,
that he's now part of our group.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure out a beach wagon that you can mount a seat in or something that you can take.
It'll put an
I'm sure
absolute
you'll
figure
tear
it
in my eye, that would.
Yeah. Put a tear in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd try and figure out something. So just even if you just took him out now and again, and even if it was just about you doing more of the throwing, him doing more of the pulling, or whatever.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have people
Great.
in the
Great.
United States who are in walkers and other stuff and can't stand, and they do it. But yeah, it's dealing with the mental age too. But
Yeah.
River is one of those guys who he can just think up solutions and then he can go make the solution.
Yeah.
Right, River?
Yeah. Tommy
yeah.
does that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can.
With
Tommy does
my
it, man.
with my daughter blind when she was small, they had those like Tupperware wagons, and the side door opened up and they had the seats in them for the kids.
Yeah.
I just think of anything,
What I would love, which I'm never that good, I always think of things, but I never know how to go about implementing them to put it into practice.
Right.
But what I would love is, because to a certain degree he can sort of put weight through his hips, is some kind of a pair of trousers that I can slot him into. So I put on like a normal pair of trousers for me,
Right.
but then I can slot him into a pair of trousers at the front.
So he's with you.
So he is attached sort of to me.
Yeah.
And that way I can stand there and be able to help him because he's right there connected to me.
I have a thought for that. Get a pair of waders that have the shoulder straps and just have it go around and they cross in the back behind your back.
Yeah.
And have the pants in front of you and just cut them off at the length you need. And, the chest waders.
I've got some brand new waders I've never even used yet.
If I may say something,
Yes.
they have these really neat. I'm sure they're probably really expensive, but they have these. Japan has been working on these really cool, body suits that are to help people mobility aids that help people move around. I wonder if that couldn't help him.
Well, Rod, no, he needs to be attached because he can't see, and he's got a child's mind right now.
It's just an idea. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's fine.
It was just an idea.
Good idea, Rob.
No, it's
Look, any
appreciated.
idea is a good idea at this stage.
But and I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it makes me proud every day, and some days it's hard to bear that I wish that I could just for one day just swap with him.
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, to him, he is leading a normal life,
Right.
yeah.
but for one day, I wish that he could be able to do normal things, like even kick a football around. We've never
Right.
been able to do that.
Right. Right.
It's something that a dad and son should be able to do.
Yeah.
That's why-
As a,
that's why you
Although
subscribe.
I imagine he wouldn't wish it upon you. I
No,
that
it's
as a parent, I would always want to be able, any of my kids not in a situation, I'd want to be able to change
Mhm.
Help them that
yeah.
all day and night.
part of being a parent. Yeah.
I'm glad he's happy. I'm glad he's happy. You seem to be doing right by him, and if he's happy, that's all a parent can wish for. So,
Yeah, well done, man.
he's handy capable in his own way. You're doing your best that you can. What gets me, I don't think people realize the people that are really truly, I feel, disabled are the ones that are don't see that see them as a blight upon society, or that see them as a problem with society.
Right.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the disability. They're
Right.
the ones that have a real problem. They're
Right.
the ones with the problem, not these people with the disability. They're the ones with the problem.
I agree.
The way I see it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. The
Very good,
judgmental
Rob, yep.
people.
We need to change our views on the reality, not their views.
Right.
They're the people with the different. We need to adapt to the difference in life.
Right.
Well, Stuart, go to a
Maybe
sportsy shop,
maybe
look
I
for those
might.
bibs, and then you could always put something around the waist that would go around both of you to keep him against you, and the bibs would probably support him.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hearing grinding sounds. I'm having a hard time hearing your sticks.
I'm hearing grinding too.
I don't know
This
where it
time
is.
it's not me. It's gone. It's here. I'm not rocking. I'm not eating.
I don't know who it is.
Okay.
It
Let's go down the
could
list.
be the UK weather.
Oh, it could be. Yeah. Jamie, is it raining there? Anyway. Oh, I thought I unmuted you.
It's still raining here.
Yeah, it's raining where Jamie at. That's the sound you're hearing. Is
Okay.
weather.
I'll jump off.
It's okay, Jamie. If you want to, it's up to you. It's okay. Let's see. What other questions might we have for people? Anything, Tommy?
Fresh out.
Fresh out. Well, you guys, do any of you have any questions for anybody up here, or does anybody else want to come up and chat for a bit? We're getting to a point where it's almost 8:30, which is what time in your world?
Hey, Stuart, can you hang on a minute?
Yeah.
I need to go to the garage just for a second.
Oh, he has ideas. Stuart, you gave Tommy ideas. I don't know how much of Tommy's videos you've watched. But check out River Sticks. He has 2
Yeah.
channels, Van Life and Outdoors. And then you'll see how his brain works.
Yeah, I
And-
think we've only just recently subbed to each other.
Yeah, I would go check him out. He's a great resource to have, and he's done a lot of things, and he thinks but he gets embarrassed when I say this all the time. He doesn't like me saying this, but I'm truly impressed with how his mind and his hands work.
I can still hear you. I have my headset on.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to, so be quiet. You can yell at me later. I'm good with that. Okay, but he thinks of something and finds a solution and uses his hand, and he can just do it.
Yeah.
And it comes out good. It's not like me. I can think of something, use my hands, use my head, and it comes out lousy. But he can actually do things, and when a problem or something gets rolling in his head that he wants to make a solution for, he's very good at it. Very, very good at it.
Yeah.
Do you get lots of railway related items?
What kind of railway? Not too much, because we don't have much railroads up here. That way back in the day when they did loggings, we do. So we get like railroad spikes and stuff like that now and then, but it's not like other places that actually have a lot of active railroads.
Yeah.
You know, one of the places I go, Lake Stevens, it actually had a wood mill right there, and it had the railroad running down the side of it. So it actually has a whole train engine in the lake.
Right.
That's slowly sinking down, according to the heads of the parks department, because he's the head of Lake Stevens Parks out there. I was chatting with him one day, and now all that's left showing is the smokestack. The rest is sunk down in the silt, but he says it's a full and complete train engine.
Is there no way that they can sort of get a crane and retrieve it?
Since the 1800s, when it went in, that corner where it went in was privately owned, and they won't allow it. And this is a locked lake. There's no way to get a barge in and out.
Yeah.
Nothing big enough, and it's been there forever. So divers go down to look at it all the time.
That is such a shame.
Yeah, but it would be a great piece of history. But there I get a lot of railroad spikes. I don't get hardly any anymore.
And so over here, because of the rail network that we have, one of the most common things that we find is a track bolt.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen a track bolt.
I'm sure I probably have, because a lot of the rest of the United States gets them.
Yeah.
It's not where we're at.
Well, this is what it's like over here.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I get a lot of bolts that are very similar to that, but none of them have the lettering on the top, which I know makes a big difference, especially for collectors.
At the moment, I've got about 5 of these in my back garden. A lot of them we have sent to scrap because they were broken or they were deformed. But a lot of the ones like this that are in perfect condition, it's another one that I refurbish to keep in the garden to have a look at. It's
that's cool.
Sorry,
it's an unusual.
My hand.
Yeah, I know. Are you focusing? You're okay.
I'm trying to put my camera, my phone on my tripod.
Oh,
it fell off.
You're fine. You're okay. Yeah. So a lot of the United States gets a lot of stuff. Railroad detonators, spikes, plates, all that kind. I've gotten a few plates. But where I actually just right in my area. No. But that's just because where we're at.
Yeah.
But I also, what I get probably the most is fishing line.
I got annoyed in one of my videos, and this was just before we met up with the children. I was fishing on the opposite side of that lake, and me and my daughter was just pulling fishing line out after fishing line. And then you've got to sort the hooks out, and it was just I got really upset and angry.
I've had
Uh,
buckets of fishing line this year, buckets. But what I
Yeah.
do is I try and cut out what's good, the lures and weights and stuff like that are good.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, with the rest of it, I start a fire at back. The grandkids get marshmallows. And before we're all done, I throw the whole thing of fishing line on the fire.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
because if I don't do that, it goes to the landfill. And all our parks have those little funnel things here that you can put fishing line that they're supposed to properly dispose of.
Yeah.
But I don't trust them. So I bring it all home and I just
Mhm.
put it on a fire.
Well,
People forget that's part of reduce.
Yeah.
Burning is part of reducing the waste.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but if it goes to landfill, then
You're
know,
killing other animals.
well, yes.
Mhm.
It to me that's as bad as leaving it in the water for over here the ducks and swans to get caught up in.
Yeah. See, I'm not worried
if
about
you-
the ducks and swans. I'm worried about the children
Yeah.
and the divers. I mean, I don't like that happens to the ducks and swans and turtles either.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I am truly concerned because a lot of that stuff, people are jumping off our docks here and swimming because we do have very swimmable water.
Yeah.
Mhm. I know some people that recycle that stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know how you would recycle it. I know they have those little tubes you can put it in, but I don't know where that really goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But even if it goes to recycle or landfill or somewhere like over here, it would go to a landfill site.
Right.
And you've still got birds that fly into that landfill site and
Right.
get caught up in it.
Right.
Mhm.
So
So,
I feel
you know,
I
you're
took it
not-
on like my responsibility.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
got for us, Tommy?
Right.
Well, I couldn't find my bib ones. I've got my waders that are individual legs, but even these,
Yes, listening.
if you put them up on him
Yeah.
and you fasten the straps and have them crisscross over you in front, they automatically crisscross in the back.
Yeah.
And you can get these suspenders that aren't stretchy at all. And with the
Yeah.
with the bib on the top of these, that would hold his chest up to you. And you could always do an additional strap at the chest and at the waist to keep him tethered to you.
Yeah.
And just make it a special thing.
It'll be more across the top of his chest under his arms.
It
Right.
would be from the mid thigh or the knee, wherever you cut the boot off.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that once he's in that.
Right, you'd pull
To
him
keep
off
him-
his pants, and then he'd
Yeah.
have the bib,
Yeah.
and then it's just like doing a double. It's like doing a double parachute. You're
Parachute.
harnessed too, but this
Yeah.
would actually hold him height wise as well,
Yeah.
because the straps would be crisscrossed in front and in back of you, keeping his level height up, and then
Yeah.
just put a tether around you that way too.
And it
Yeah.
would be special
I
days.
get
It
what
would
you
give
mean,
them
yeah.
a special day to be able to go do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you would just
Yeah, it would be.
buy a pair of the full bib waders
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
cut them off about that far below the seam in the crotch, and buy them extra big so you could put him into them.
Yeah.
And then with the shoulder straps, you're just putting them on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see what you mean.
By crisscrossing them, if you just had them coming straight over, they would tend to fall off. But by crisscrossing them, they're going to keep them more snug on
Safe.
you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they don't fall off your shoulder. And even at the crisscross, you could put your head through it. You could actually crisscross it where you wanted to, and you could even sew that. You could sew that crisscross
So
Yeah.
what's-
to where now you have a diamond that goes over your head so it can't move.
Yeah.
So the crisscrosses in front and back. That
Yeah.
keeps the diamond on your shoulders and on your head, no matter what.
Yeah. Then every time I put it on, it'll go over my head and keep
You would
him
hang it in front of you, and
Yeah.
put it over your head and put your arms through,
Yeah.
and now it's tethered to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And then
I'll-
just get an adjustable cargo strap
Yeah.
You know, like a dog's leash. You know how you adjust a dog's colors,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
something adjustable, and that way you can tighten or loosen it depending on what you had for supper last night.
That'll be more loosening it then. In fact, at Christmas, my daughter bought me a pair of waders, and it was quite funny that over Christmas it was great, but then after Christmas, when all the festivities settled down, and then you realise how much tighter things have kind of got over the month. And I put these waders on, and it was almost like I needed a shoehorn to
Thanks, Kitty.
get into it.
Right.
But the worst part was, it's when you sit down, all of the air just comes escaping out of the top. So when you stand up again, it's like someone shrink wrapped it to you. So when you try and get it back off again, it's like impossible.
Oh.
Well, the good part about this is you're cutting the legs off.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Oh,
mutes
that's
sometimes. You're cutting the legs off. They're loose enough that you won't have any of these issues, and you're. For God's sakes, I hope you're not taking him in the water. Oh, but
No,
you know
no,
what?
no.
You could. No. But if you ever went to a beach somewhere, you could use it for that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You could
Yeah.
walk him in there too. You could
I
use
think
this.
actually he's a better swimmer than I am.
Well, but see, you don't have to just use this magnet fishing.
Yeah.
You can use it for hiking. You can use it for walks. You can use it for a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Lots
See,
of stuff.
I like the idea of doing those things, but I'm kind of built for comfort, not speed, and that sort of. Magnet fishing is kind of exercise-wise my limit,
Right.
because with Connor, it's the help that he needs. It's more upper body strength that I need.
Well, guess
Yeah.
what?
So
Guess
being
what?
able,
I know a personal friend of mine
yeah,
started out at almost 400 pounds, and he couldn't walk hardly to the mailbox.
yeah,
And for a long time, he would go one house and back, and then he would push himself a house and a half and back, two houses and back.
yeah,
And by the end of a year, he was walking around the block.
Mhm.
But guess what? By the end of the second year, at 6'2", he was down to 190 pounds at the end of the second year. So this could actually be good for both of you.
yes. Oh, it would be good for both of us.
And by being the bibs with the cutoff into shorts
Mhm.
and his pants and all go through there, and on the straps you can adjust the height, the whole nine.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I could take him to work with me.
You could.
Mhm.
We have daddy and kid day at work here, or parent and kid day at work. Take your kid to work
No.
day, whatever you want to call
Due
it.
to health and safety, they won't allow it over here.
Oh.
No.
What do you do for work?
I work in retail. I'm classed as a shop assistant,
Mm-hmm.
but I mainly work on the main till, serving the
third
customers.
floor going up. Are you being served?
I'm free.
I'm free. Mrs. Humphreys. Yes. What a great show. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
What a
Oh,
great
I
show.
remember that show. I grew up watching reruns.
Oh my gosh.
It's great. See, we watch all the old reruns of programs like that
Mhm.
because it is much better still than
It is.
some of the programs they're producing now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Are You Being Served? I love the second Are You Being Served when they went out to the cottage house with
Yeah.
the old man with the blunderbuss.
I didn't remember the name of it. That's what it was called? Are You Being Served?
Are You Being Served?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was watching it on BBC. I think South Dakota Public broadcasting. They showed clips of BBC.
Funny, the show, the comedian of the show ended up being Mr. Humphreys, but it actually was supposed to be the other guy, the taller, skinnier guy with the longer brown hair in the in the trousers department. It was actually originally he was the original comedian.
Yeah.
But everybody loved Mr. Humphreys better.
John Inman.
Yeah, John Inman. That's exactly right.
Kenny.
And God forbid Mrs. Slocum.
Kenny says, I only get served by the county sheriff.
Well,
is that a good or bad thing? I don't know.
That's bad. He's just joking.
Does he mean?
Know.
I know. Zach, you would work with the kilt. He was asking about my bibs idea. Would it work with the kilt? Because I said I had a kilt when I was in Scotland, and I want to get another one. But now the word I'm going to say is going to sound like a cuss word, but it's actually in England it is not. It's referring to a cat, a pussy cat.
I know where you're going with this.
Mrs. Slocum.
Yes.
She said they had asked Mrs. Slocum could she stay over, and she says, "Oh no, if I'm not home by past, my pussy will be in a tizzy."
I heard that one.
And she was talking about her cat.
I knew what you was going to say before you said it.
Yeah. But not one person in the whole cast, not one person not even cracked as much of a smile. They're all just like, looking at, okay, they were brilliant. They never even cracked as much of a smile.
Yeah.
Danny, do you want to know, Kingfisher, Stuart, if you had done the globe and architecture Lego sets?
No, I don't do the Technic sets either. The only Lego that I do is basically the old 80s Lego. There is a website that you can download the old Legoland, the original Legoland manuals. And what I do is buy Lego in kilos. Sometimes I'll buy 5 kilos, sometimes I'll buy 10. And this is where the geek side of it comes in, because I sit and sort each individual piece out so that when it comes to building, you can just get a tray, follow the book with what you need, and just pick them out the trays and then build.
Yeah. I have a client who does about the same thing, and he's made, the big Star Wars ships, and then he makes all kinds of stuff. And he pulls
That's how any puzzler does it, though.
Yeah.
Kingfisher.
But I only keep the parts that I need for the original Legoland. If anything else comes from another set, then I sort of rebulk it into another kilo and sell it back on because I don't need it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So, it's kind of letting somebody else repurpose what I don't need. But yeah, for what I have, it's quite a lot.
I have a 2,000 piece puzzle on my table. I need one of these days. I'm gonna glue it. But that's how I separate it by color. That's basically it's the same thing as what you do, but with your Legos, it's the same idea and shape.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing.
Stuart, when you take the bibs that normally would come to the front on you, they would come straight down the front and crisscross on the back.
Nice, Gramps. It's good to see you, buddy.
When you do those, if you don't want to crisscross them, you could still put just a short strap across to keep them from spreading, or you could actually cross them. But when you do, if you go by, they have not the monofilament, not the plastic fishing line, but they actually have the braided line.
Yeah.
So like the 10-pound braid might have a 50-pound test, 50-pound strength because it's so fine. That's all you would need is something really fine, like an 8 or a 10-pound braid.
Yeah.
because it has a 20, 30, 40, pound strength, and put it in just a larger sewing needle. That's what we used to do on all our weapons holsters.
Oh, right,
Because
yeah.
because we used to train where if somebody come up to you and they grab your weapon that's on your waist, on your side, if they grab the handle of that and pull at the same time, take the other hand and push your body,
Yeah.
boom, they would rip out. So we would reinforce them with the braid line. So, and it sews super easy. It goes right in a large sewing needle, and you can push them through and stitch it. But yeah, so you could either crisscross the front, or just put a spreader piece to keep it from going any further.
Yeah, Danny G, that was a cool picture. Very cool picture.
But I just want to make sure you knew about the braided line. So it's something you can buy, for $5 to $10 in the sporting goods, and you don't.
Well, we have over here anything that's sewing related. It's like a haberdashery shop,
right?
And we happen to have one in the town where I live.
Well, then you could probably just get him to do a cross stitch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would need somebody that knows how to use a sewing machine, because it's one of the few
I have
machines
one in the garage too.
I told you.
I need to come over to him. I've got to get a ticket and come over.
And when you're looking at the waders, just for the first try, you don't have to buy the expensive ones because you're not actually using them in the water. You're cutting them off anyway. You just want the midsection.
I think if it was me, I'd probably use a couple of pair of wellies and some ratchet straps. Just like wrench it round both of us.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I don't want to be a party pooper because this is going so well, but I'm tired.
No.
And now it's time to say goodbye to all our musketeers.
We love you guys.
Magneteers, not musketeers.
Yeah, magneteer. There you go.
Are you ready to call it, Tommy, or you want to go to 9?
I'm good.
Okay, let's go. You guys, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
It was very great to meet all you guys.
Hopefully we'll chat again.
We will. Thank you so much.
Much respect on your son.
Yes.
Thank you very
I
much.
like the attitude. The attitude is good. Yep. I wish more people could adapt that attitude. Just grateful to be here and going and moving. Nice.
A lot of people could learn a lot from my son.
Yes.
If blistering and
yeah, Rob.
Pardon me, blistering and Kingfisher. If you guys run into Peaky Dippers or the rest of that crew, you tell them Rob Wiedemann says hi.
Okay.
I will be seeing them on Sunday.
Oh, you see them on Sunday? Okay, you tell them I said hi. I'll probably see them on the live, but I follow those guys every time they go live.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, they get. I love watching them clean the tames.
Okay, guys, we gotta go. He's going bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you later.
Yep.
See ya.